If you're thinking of starting a business or working in business, you'll want to know some of the most important terms and vocabulary words to use in business English. So this video will share 20 with some add-ons words, and I'll share their usage, other related words, and use each one in a sentence so you get the example. My name is Erin Lebax. Thanks for watching. We're going to look at some words about people, some words about money, some words about processes. We'll have 2 slides of words for each. Let's get right into those words about people in business. You might use the verb collaborate. You know it starts with CO, which often means connecting something, putting people together. Collaborate means to work together, where we all bring our own talent to contribute to the situation. We might say, would you like to collaborate with me on this project? If we did, we would be doing collaboration. We might even say, that team is really good at collaborating or really good at collaboration. Network can be used as a verb or a noun. It's something we do when we seek other connections. I'm going to network, meaning I will go to an online event or an in-person event to meet other people in my field and make those connections. We can also call our group of friends and contacts our network. So in a way, we network with our network, and we call that networking. So we might say, do you want to go to this networking dinner with me to meet other people in our city and in our industry? Recruit, it's something we do. We're looking for other employees. We're looking for staff. We're looking for experts. We want to recruit, find them, and bring them to us to work with our team. When we do that, it's called recruitment. Let's recruit a variety of new staff to help with the call center. Who would do that? Often, there's actually a job position called a recruiter. That's the person who goes out and finds all the best employees and recruits them to work on your team. 3 more business English words about people. Negotiate, something we do again, a verb. We can negotiate, we hear what each other wants, and we come to an agreement, kind of like you do when you compromise. So if we negotiate, I would say what I want, you would say what you want, and then we would see how can we give a little, get a little to come to an agreement together that works for everyone. Would you like to send your team to negotiate with my team about this project? Let's negotiate the costs. Let's negotiate who will do what responsibilities. And when we have that conversation, we might call it a negotiation. We are having a negotiation about product prices. Entrepreneur, that might be you. It might be me. Any of us who get out there and start our own business, our own side hustle. We are creating new products or new services, and we're creating our own businesses. So that's a noun. It's a person who is an entrepreneur. Someone starting something new on their own, often based on their own expertise. Doing this we call entrepreneurship. We might say there is a lot of new entrepreneurship happening among Gen Z. A lot of people might be becoming entrepreneurs. And our final word about people, a noun, agenda. The agenda, the list of what we're going to do in a meeting, in a presentation, in a class. You might have seen an agenda written on the board in a class before. When we go to a meeting, we also need to create an agenda. And then people might say, hey, let's stick to the agenda here. Let's go to topic 3 on the agenda, because the agenda keeps us on track, keeps us talking about what we've decided is the agenda for that meeting. All right, let's get into some words about money. Big part of business, right? Well, number one is our budget. It's a thing, it's a noun, it's our understanding of what money we have and what we're going to use it for. We might say, is it in the budget this year to buy some new books? Oh, here's a verb version. I did not budget for new books. So we can use budget either way. Let's create a budget. Let's create a spreadsheet where we list all the money we need, all the money we have, and what we're going to spend it on. But when we do that, we might say we are budgeting, and we might even say, I am going to budget for a new teacher next year. Like make a plan to have that in the budget. So let's talk and do some budgeting together, plan how we're going to use our money. Invoice is how we send money back and forth. If you've done something for me, you will send me an invoice, a paper or something electronic that says, hey, Erin, here's what you owe me for the services I provided. What if somebody edited this video? Now they would send me an invoice and I would need to pay that invoice, meaning look at that piece of paper or electronic message and say, oh, I owe this amount, let me pay it, right? And so when we do our invoices, we have accounts payable and accounts receivable to consider. Accounts payable means money going out. What do I need to pay the people who helped me edit this video, for example? Accounts receivable, what money am I going to get when I've taught a class for someone? So payable going out, receivable coming in, but we take care of all of that with an invoice. All of that information is listed on the invoice. So we might say, could you please give me the invoice for last year's classes that you taught? Sometimes we could even use it as a verb. Let's invoice that company for everything we did for them. Did you invoice them yet? Kind of means like send an invoice. Finally, on this slide, something businesses are hoping for, of course, is a profit, making more money than you've spent. And it's a noun because it's a thing, it's an amount of money. We have made $500 of profit today in our bakery sales, we might say. We put some money to buy the ingredients, we paid the bakers, but now when we sell, if we have extra money on top of what we spent, that is ours to keep. That is our profit. Contract, also a noun, also usually a piece of paper or something electronic or digital. It's an agreement. It's an agreement that says what each party or person will do. So I might have a contract with a school where I'm going to teach a class, or someone else might have a contract with me because they're designing something I want to use in a book or a video. We make that agreement that says who will do what, how much will it get paid for, when is the deadline, and everything else we need to agree on. It goes into the contract, a document, and then we sign it and date it and make sure that we have agreed to this contract, which then kind of guides the work that we do because we follow what's in the contract. All right, these last two about money are actually about who you're selling to or who you're marketing to. People will usually say, oh, my business is B2B, or I'm doing some B2C marketing. What does that mean? Well, B2B is a business who sells to other businesses. So I have a small business. If I sell a class to another business, I'm doing B2B selling. If I, on the other hand, sell one book to an individual, I'm selling right to a consumer, and we would call it B2C selling, business to consumer. So often your business might be one or the other. Some businesses are both, but we could think about someone who sells boxes of cookies, probably B2C, selling cookies to families. Someone who sells internet subscriptions, an online subscription package, maybe they sell that to another business to use at their business. So you can say you are involved in B2C sales, B2B marketing, etc. All right, let's finish up with 2 slides of business English words about processes, the things that we do in business. The first one, a noun, is a business plan. This is the document that you start with that says, what is your mission? What will you accomplish? What will you sell? How will you get that done? What are the dates? This is something that you would need if you're looking to get a loan, some kind of money lent, right? Or trying to tell someone about your business, or even get hired or find someone to collaborate with. You would share your business plan, which explains everything about what your business is going to do and what steps you're going to take and when. That business plan might include deadlines. When is something due? It means like a due date. And so we might say, what is the deadline for getting out this new video? Can you change the deadline for that script? I need more time. Something like that, right? Can you give me a deadline for this project so that I don't get behind? If you work in the digital, electronic, online world for most of what you sell, you might be engaging in or doing e-commerce. Commerce is goods and services going back and forth, like trading and selling. E-commerce is when that happens online. So selling someone an e-course to use online would be e-commerce compared to selling a book or something physical. And finally, on this slide, if you have staff somewhere else, or if you have part of the project that you want someone else to do, you might outsource it, send it out to an outside source. The word kind of makes sense. You might do some outsourcing. So I might say, I'm working on a book. I'm not very good at drawing. I'm going to outsource these illustrations. I need someone else to do the art because it's not my talent. So I will outsource that part of the work. On a bigger scale, we might hear of a company outsourcing a lot of its labor, sending things to a different country to be done. So outsource can be one person outsourcing part of a project, or a whole company outsourcing part of their processes to a group somewhere else. When you have a new product to get out there, you will probably have a launch. A launch meaning both an announcement and kind of an event surrounding this product becoming available. So my product launch is in October, you might say. Let's work on the marketing because the product launch is coming soon. That is when we will launch, a verb in that case, our new product. So we can all prepare for the product launch. What you sell might be goods or it might be services, or both. We often say, oh, they're trading in goods and services if you've made money from these goods and services. Well, the goods are more like products, things, tangible, that you can pick up often, or buy something online that's one product. That is a good. A service is something you do. So if what you do is edit people's videos, you are providing a service. If what you do is take care of people's pets and homes while they're away, you are doing a service. Or if you are a dog groomer, you're doing a service. But if you're selling collars and food for pets, now you're selling goods. And finally, within a company, often when you need money exchanged and you need to buy something, you might say, let's ask purchasing, like the purchasing department, to buy this for us. Or an even more difficult business English word, procurement, not used as often, but means very similar to purchasing. The verb purchase is similar to the verb procure. It means go out and get, right? So you might have a department that does your purchasing or your procurement, or you might say, hey team, let's talk about our purchasing for next year. What are we going to buy? What procurement do we need to be ready for next year? All right, so I hope these business English terms are helpful to you as you work on maybe starting a business or working in the business industry internationally or wherever you're looking to do so. Please let me know if you have questions on these words or if there are other vocab words you'd like to know about that I can follow up in another video or answer for you in the comments. Thanks for watching and best wishes for your work in business.